What is up, cool cats of the interwebs? It is your girl Haley back at it again with another episode of your favorite podcast, the Pre-Review Crew. This time for May and June of 2025. Before we get into the games, let me introduce you to my cast of characters, and then we'll kick things off the proper way. As always, I have Mike.
What's up?
And I have Brennan.
Hello.
So, kicking this off, we unfortunately don't have any games to review as we are recording this early. So, all the games that we have to talk about for May don't have any sort of review coverage just yet, which is perfectly fine. Come back next month and we'll definitely talk about those. But we can talk about the games that we are looking forward to for June. So the first one is going to be Rune Factory Gardens of Azuma is an action RPG developed by Marvelous Inc. and published by Xseed Games. It's coming out on Nintendo Switch and PC on June 5th. And we have talked about a couple Rune Factory games before, but I'll let Mike take this one over.
Oh, this is Brendan.
Oh, for some reason I totally thought it was Mike.
No, this is my kind of game, but it's Rune Factory. You gotta remember, it's Rune Factory, so that's Brendan.
I played every single one of these. Okay, don't you even begin to question my Rune Factory street cred. I've never played 2. That's the only one I've never played. It's just 2, I think.
When I'm in the streets, it's when Rune Factory comes up, we always speak Brendan's name.
Goddamn fucking straight, dude. I've been singing this game's praises since the first one came out in DS, like 2007. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I picked this one because I'm a Rune Factory shill. Okay, you put Rune Factory date garbage can, and I would still play it. This looks kind of interesting. This is not a mainline game. Making that very clear. This is not a mainline game. You would know that because if you're a true Rune Factory fan, you would know that the mainline games are all numbered. Like Rune Factory 2. The first one's technically not numbered, but Rune Factory 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. This is not 6. So it's definitely a spin-off. That's how I figured that one out.
Brennan can count.
Yeah, I just learned like not that long ago. This one seems kind of weird because it's like Rune Factory Japan. A lot of the other ones, they're all very generic fantasy. So to make it Japan is also another tip-off to me that this might be a spin-off game. It's definitely a spin-off game. You can like build villages in this one. It seems like you can like have a lot more control over where you can place stuff, not only on your farm but outside of your farm. It's definitely a huge shift from the games. I mean, a lot of the games had customization in terms of like where you can put stuff on your farm for the most part. But this seems to have taken this to the next level. This seems to be like a jump between Animal Crossing New Leaf and New Horizons, where like you can put stuff everywhere, not just your home. I think that's very simply what this is, throwing it with a Japanese coat of paint. But I kind of like how they're using, trying spin-offs to see what might or might not work for future entries. I think that a lot of people were happy with 5, but overall kind of disappointed because 4 was just so good. The jump between 3 to 4 was insane. And so I think that people were expecting that same jump and they didn't really get it. So I'm hoping that this is a long-term effort to make 6 good. See what works and what doesn't work here. Anything that does, maybe they can see how they can try to implement that within 6. It looks good to me. I'm a sucker for this shit. So I can't really say anything other than I can't wait.
No, this one does look really good. I played Rune Factory 3 and 4. So just like when I saw that we were going to talk about this game, I was like, okay, cool. I was expecting just regular Rune Factory. And then I'm watching the trailer, and I'm like, dude, like this looks crazy. Like the art style is a lot different. The camera angles and everything, like you said, the way you can place stuff now look really interesting. The combat looked great, and I was just like, like they took a huge, like you said, it's a spin-off, so that's why I think they took such a huge step away from regular Rune Factory. But just watching the trailer, I was like, I could fuck with this like really hard. Like I'm actually putting it on my wish list for next month.
Oh damn. Yeah, I mean, like it does. It's just like it does look really good. Um, and I hope this does well. I don't think that Rune Factory will ever kind of like break into the cultural zeitgeist that is Animal Crossing. It's not going to come anywhere close. But I do hope that people enjoy this one. I think it's going to be fairly different from most Rune Factory fans are expecting. Again, that's the point though. Like it's not like they're trying to hide that either. They're making it very clear that like no, we're changing shit up here. And again, it's in a safe space because it's a spinoff. It's not touching the mainline games. Um, Overall, I'm very much looking forward to this.
And I can respect them taking a chance and trying new shit.
Yeah,
It kind of reminds me of what Pokemon did with Legends Arceus.
exactly.
And
Yes,
Arceus came out really good, so now I'm like, okay, I can. After that, I can understand them taking a new direction, and I'm open for it.
totally. And to me, that this was what that feels like in a much lighter way. I mean, because it is still Rune Factory. I mean, it's
Yeah,
the same thing with Pokemon Arceus. It was still Pokemon at the end of the day. So, yeah, it's very similar. I really enjoyed. I mean, it's a side topic, but I really enjoyed Arceus. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. So I'm hoping the same thing happens here. I'm hoping that I enjoy this almost more than five. I think that's really ultimately what I'm looking for. Is that five was just so whatever that I'm holding out for six. But even in between, I'm like, I'll take this. This looks good too.
yeah. So it'd be good to jump into Rune Factory again. I haven't played 4 in a while.
It's cool. I've never read the comments. I'm reading the comments now on this Nintendo of America trailer, and I'm glad that a lot of other people are saying it's looking pretty good too. So I'm glad. I'm like I didn't really look into the reception at all. It's not like I frequent the subreddit or whatever, but reading these comments is it's kind of nice.
Yeah, I'm reading the comments too. Like these guys are all over this game.
There's multiple comments where I've seen two now on the same page, not far from each other, both saying that this would probably be their first Rune Factory game. It's like that. There we go. Like that's to me. That's kind of the point, right? Because it's not. It's trying to get in new people. It's trying to get in new people. And they're doing something different to get in a different crowd, and
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
I'm excited for this. I'm pretty sure it's coming out on PC.
I was thinking of getting it for the Switch.
Yeah, okay. The only reason I'm hesitant about the Switch is that I played Rune Factory 5 on the Switch and the PC. And the 5 was a bit different because 4 was it had 2D rendered backgrounds and 3D models. 5 was fully 3D. So that was a huge jump for them. And I think on a technical standpoint, and especially on the Switch, um, the frame rate was really choppy. Frame rate was really, really choppy.
Oh, okay.
It could like barely keep a stable 30, right? I'm hoping that has since changed. Maybe it would be. Maybe they like scaled back in terms of like size of zones and stuff. I think that's really what it was. Is I think the zones themselves were just too big, and the Switch had trouble loading all of it all the time. Um, but on PC it played beautifully. Like it hit 60, it stayed at 60 frames. It's not a very intense game on PC, but I guess for whatever reason, again, maybe they just hadn't nailed the optimization or even just like the technical shift
Yeah.
on the Switch, at least. Obviously, they did on PC, but I think the PC release came after too, which is why this is also really nice to see that it's launching on both at the same time. I really appreciate that because, yeah, the Switch, it's an old piece of hardware now that we think about it. I mean, so it's crazy how, like, I don't know, to me it's even crazy that Breath of the Wild ran as well as it did. That's still like a marvel looking back on it. I don't know how they figured that shit out, but they did.
I've had my people on that for a long time. We still can't figure it out.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, obviously there's two different it's apples to oranges in terms of like developer, but it's still crazy to me, even with Nintendo, that they just managed to make Breath of the Wild run as smooth as they did. Like, I don't remember having frame rate drops that were that insane. Meanwhile, I played Rune Factory 5, which is all intents and purposes, it should be a much less intense game, and yet it still couldn't reach a stable 30. All of this to say, if you're thinking about Switch, at least just wait maybe and see what the performance is like first. Obviously, if you don't have a PC, then that's it. But I would almost recommend PC if you had a choice.
Or if you're getting a Switch 2, I noticed this comes out for Switch 2 on the same day that the console launches.
Also fair. Yeah. Also completely fair.
I have no comments because I will not play this, but it looks really good.
So, okay, question. Because we don't have any games and I'm trying to stretch out the time.
I mean, you don't have to stretch out the time. I am looking at video game news for us to talk about as well.
Okay. Right. But still, no, genuine question, though. Genuine
Okay.
question. I mean, like, you do like Stardew Valley and stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Is your question why I won't play this?
Maybe not this one specifically. I mean, not Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma, but just like, would you ever consider playing a Rune Factory game?
Yes. I definitely would. It's just finding the right one for me, and I think a lot of it just comes down to the art style. Like, I like it, but I'm just like, like, I don't like, some reason I don't like it, and if I don't like an art style, then it's not going to hold my attention for me to play that game.
No, yeah, that totally makes sense.
So
Yeah.
like I think for me, at least when looking specifically at Guardians of Azuma, I think it's the mixture of how bright the game is and how fluffy it looks, and then you throw in violent combat and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Cuz everything is overly exaggerated when it comes to color. The pinks are extremely pink. The blues are extremely blue. The greens are like neon highlighter yellow. And I think after a while, my brain would just melt from looking at that.
Okay. Yeah, I would recommend this to people who played Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley. Because that's why I picked up Rune Factory, was because I had played those games and I remember being like, okay, you know what, another life sim, try it. And I enjoyed 4 and 5. No, not 5. 3. Yeah, I played 3 because I got the Rune Factory special.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really, but like I very much don't blame you on the whole art style thing. Art style makes or breaks stuff, for sure. And yeah, I mean, the thing too about even like past games is that I would have almost a hard time telling you to even be like, oh, it's difficult for me to be like, oh, go play Rune Factory 4. Because unless you're playing it on the Switch, maybe. But even then, it like looks, it's like a 3DS game that was ported to the Switch. You know what I mean? It like looks like a 3DS game. So it, in good conscience, I'm like, I can't even tell you to go play the older games if you want to try it. You'd really just kind of have to wait until hopefully six. Hopefully six just looks decent enough. The only reason I ask that is because, and this is the last thing. I'm so sorry. Uh, a common complaint that I see about Stardew is how stressful the timing is, and like how stressful the game can be overall. I think that people kind of manufacture that themselves. I mean, it is part of the game itself, but I think people kind of overblow it a bit because there is no harsh timeline. Motherfucker, for Harvest Moon, I'm pretty sure the Harvest Moon on GameCube, what is it, Wonderful Life? If you didn't get married, you had like a year. If you didn't get married, it was game over. That's like a really harsh game over, man. That sucked. Whatever. Sorry, side tangent.
I've never played Harvest Moon, so.
Oh my god, those games are so fucking good. Rune Factory is literally a fantasy Harvest Moon. That was like the first game's tagline, but
Oh, okay.
whatever. It was made by the same company too.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it was kind of a good idea on their part, but whatever. Rune Factory is not as stressful in terms of like the time of day or like the goals that you set and stuff. Rune Factory is very much that farm life that people want, but like actually relaxed. That being said, though, there is a story element and there is a higher focus on combat, way higher focus on combat. So it is different, but that's always why I'm like, if you think that Stardew Valley is too stressful, try Rune Factory. That's it.
I definitely have to agree with what you said about Stardew because like when I would play that with my friends, it would literally be okay, this is what we're doing. We're all going to bed right now, and then tomorrow you have to go do this and you have to go do that and you have to go do this. Like it was like a very well-oiled machine. But when I played it myself, I was just like, I do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah. Excuse me, Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, I had the same thing in a group. And the group thing became very like very like you do this, I'm gonna do that. And it was again it's random, but playing Stardew with other people, it was really weird because it was like the four of us all playing Stardew, but not on the same map, but not actually like playing with each other. Was that also your experience too? It was really weird.
Yeah, like we were all playing the game, but like off doing our own thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'd be
exactly.
like, oh, like I caught this fish. Do we need this for the bundle? Oh, yeah, we need that for the bundle. Okay, I'll take that.
Yep, yeah.
And it was just like us collectively. And I like that though, because that is the aspect of if we were actually working on a farm, everybody putting in the work to help the farm prosper. And like, that's cool. I hear a cat.
Yeah, my cat.
Aw.
Special appearance.
That is adorable. I love it. But yeah, I definitely feel like there were like almost like two modes to Stardew. When you were with your friends, it was just everybody has a job, and when you were by yourself, you were just like, eh, I'll do it in time. At least that was mine.
Yeah, I never played Stardew with people, so I really don't know anything about that.
I love Stardew. Anyway, we got off topic, so let's hop back on, and we are going to talk about the most anticipated game this year. I am so
Yeah,
excited. It is called Date Everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. It is a
yeah.
dating sandbox sim. It's developed by Sassy Chap Games and published by Team 17. It's coming out on PC, PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and Switch on June 17th. So if you're like, listen, Rune Factory is not for me, and you want a chill dating game where you can date your doorbell, you can date your trash can, you can date the kitchen sink, this game is for you. It's all for you. Oh my god, I
If you
love
want to
it.
fuck your chair or your water heater.
Exactly. Who wouldn't? Did you ever picture what your water heater could look like if it was a person? No? Okay, well,
Like,
now you can because somebody made it into a game. You can literally romance the objects in your house.
Can I romance the trash? Like the
Yes.
physical trash in my trash can.
I don't know about the physical trash in your trash can, but you can romance your trash can.
Will my trash can get jealous if I start speaking to the refrigerator too much?
Probably. You can also romance the plunger and your toilet.
Oh.
Like your front door's name is Dorian.
I just saw that your wall is named Wallace. I hate that.
I am dead and I love their outfits. Their outfits are so cute because it looks like their object. Um listen, I was looking at games and I saw this and I was like, I don't even know what that is. Um I looked up the Steam page. I went, I'm sold. I'm sold. I have nothing. Like, this is it. This is it. This is everything
your,
I've ever wanted.
your front door is Dorian. Your phone is Phoenicia. The fan is Fantina.
I have, and there's over 100 different dateable characters. They're all voice acted from what I can see. They all have branching narratives. I think they all have at least like 3 different endings. Um, like it's Shelly Shelf. Oh, she was thick. Damn. Anyway, um, like it's so silly, but it's one of those silly games that you're just like, holy shit, I'm playing this for the lulz, and this is like just humorous.
Um, is what is this rated? I think that's the best way to answer this question. Ask this question.
That is a great question, actually.
Like,
Imprimatur.
is this rated R for
Pro,
romance?
uh, bad language, sexual innuendos, narrative contains sexual references, alcohol reference and use, and tobacco reference.
All right, so there's no like,
This ain't getting too kinky.
yeah. So I'm not gonna see like my chair's boobs or something, right?
No.
Damn, I'm out.
I can't.
Now, see you guys. Yeah, ping me when you're done. I'm out. See you guys.
Let me know when that NSFW update comes out.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw this and I was like, date everything? Okay. I can romance my couch and not leave my house. This is going to be fucking hilarious.
What are you, JD Vance? Get it? Cause you. Never mind.
Oh my god.
Which reminds me, do you guys listen to Ninja Sex Party?
Ninja
No.
sex party?
So you know Game Grumps, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Dan Avidan from Game Grumps. He's got a band called Ninja Sex Party. He did a song called Objects of Desire, and the song is he moves in with his girlfriend and he fucks all her stuff. And when I was watching to the trailer of that, all I could hear was that song
Oh
in my
God.
head. Because I'm thinking, damn, I could fuck everything in my house. Like I'm looking at the cover art for this. You got a rubber ducky, you got a teddy bear, um, you got the vacuum cleaner, a trophy. Like
Is there Oh, I have so many questions.
Oh, me too.
I have so many questions. I saw that Brendan Lee Mulligan's in this game. That's hilarious. I've read one of the comments where it was like, front door seems like a nice guy. What's the back door like? I don't.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Sup, baby, nice ass. Oh my lord.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah, it's in the trailer too. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
My name's Hoover, but my friends call me Hoove.
Are y'all going through the back door?
I want to see the. Yeah, I gotta see that back door, man.
Oh.
It's so weird. I hate that there's a clip of me saying that. It's really bad.
We're gonna do a TikTok, and all it's gonna be is Brendan saying, "I want to see that back door."
That and like the time where Haley made us pick which Pokemons we would smash.
That is forever on the internet.
I hate that.
Forever.
All right, legitimate question. If you could date any inanimate object in your house outside of any R-rated toys, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm looking around my room.
I think my bookcases.
Why?
Because, like, if we're talking about, like, if you put the books with the bookcases, then yes, my bookcases. If you're not doing that, then my books. Because I have smutty books.
Okay.
My guitar, I'd make her sing.
Oh, brother.
That was a good one, I'm not gonna lie.
I think I would save my I think I would save my bed. I probably spend the most time on my bed. So that to me just makes sense. It's like my bed's always there for me. It's comforting when I need, like the fridge doesn't comfort me like my bed does,
Brennan has mommy issues.
Yeah, but the fridge will probably give you a cold shoulder.
Oh. Yeah. Damn.
Fucking witty today. What the fuck?
Damn. No, I would. Yeah, no, I'd pick my bed. I'd totally pick my bed. I would say pillow, but that sounds a bit fucked up, and I didn't want to say pillow. Definitely my bed. Because I can sleep. I don't need a pillow to sleep. I do need my bed to sleep. Like, I'm not sleeping on the floor. That's insane. But I don't need a pillow. So my mattress, 100%. I guess I'm already married to my mattress then.
Oh my god. Well, at least we understand what the next wedding is going to be for.
I was about to say, is your mattress your plus one at my wedding?
I mean, it can be. I'm looking over. It's looking kind of hot right now. Damn.
Oh my god. Okay, moving on. No.
No sugar all over you? Because you've got a...
Oh.
I was going to say ass. That doesn't work.
Right now you're... Oh, I can't sing it. We might get copyright struck.
Cheat.
Def Leppard.
There's a cheat joke here somewhere. What? Fuck it. It's over. Cheat, girl. No. Money in the match. No, I can't. No. I'm gonna JD Vance my bed later.
Oh.
Haley, that was so good that you brought up the fucking couch. That was golden.
I'm just picturing like Brennan like
why?
pulling up his sheet and then like pulling out a like chunk of like stuffing, and there's just a hole in his mattress, and he's like, "I've been longing for you all night, baby," and I'm just like, "Oh my god, why?"
Why am I being imagined in this scenario without my consent?
Because you literally just said that you're going to JD Vance your bed.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, my point exactly. My point exactly.
It's okay, Brennan. I won't judge you. I'm not like
I don't
Haley.
think I don't want to. I think he probably just used in between the pillows. You know, I don't. I'm not making a glory hole in my mattress.
That we know of. Maybe it's in your pillow.
I'm gonna stop talking before I get in more trouble. I should have stopped a long time ago. Can you pick the next game, please?
This is great. I'm just sitting here being all quiet, let Brennan dig this hole bigger and bigger. Anyway, last game that we are going to talk about for the month of June is called Rematch. It is a football multiplayer type game. It's developed by Slow Clap and published by Kepler Interactive, coming out on PC, PS5, Xbox Series S, and X on June 19th. So if you're like, holy shit, somebody please bring me back to reality because I just JD Vanced my bed, Brennan, pick up Rematch.
just, just imagining Brennan with a drill on his bed, just drilling
We're giving him too many ideas. Anyway, who picked Rematch? Talk about Rematch.
I picked Rematch. Yeah, so I had seen there's a group of YouTubers I love that the Three Idiots, and they were playing the beta for this game. And I'm not really too big on soccer. This is a soccer game. I'm not really too big on soccer. I'm more of a baseball kind of guy, but Rematch looks really, really fun. It's a more it's not like FIFA. It's more of an arcadey soccer type game. It's more akin to what's the game called? Rocket League. Only instead of cars, it's people and it's 5-on-5. But
Oh,
just like, huh?
sorry. I just saw it in the trailer. It's from the makers of is it Sifu?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it just looked really fun because it was like it's like just an arcade soccer game. You know, it's nothing too serious. It's just a good time if you want to play some soccer. You know, you just want to play some kind of fast-paced arcade game. This is actually looks really good from what I saw. I saw them do a lot of gameplay on the video game, and yeah, it's making me consider taking up soccer for a bit.
So I had a soccer phase. Had a big soccer phase. I supported Chelsea for a number of years. Shout out Chelsea. I haven't watched a soccer game in a while. So, also in the notes, at one point I put the genre as football, and then I put in parentheses soccer for you heathens. But then I got rid of that. But I had to make a note that I did put that there. Yeah, this looks like arcadey FIFA meets Rocket League. This 100% looks like Rocket League. This all I'm thinking of is like hopefully this is like the NBA Jam of soccer. You know what I mean?
That's what it felt like when I was watching gameplay.
Good. I like this a lot. Like I'm a fan of like how this looks. The animations are really fucking clean. Like obviously the guys or the people that worked on Sifu they're phenomenal animators. Like insane. Sifu itself looked great. And this looks animation wise like on par with that. Like the bicycle kick it's just insane, dude. That's so good. How they fall over each other. To be honest with you, some of the animation work here looks better than FIFA wishes it could ever be. It's really funny. And I love that.
Yeah.
The only thing though is as someone that doesn't really gravitate towards multiplayer games anymore. Do you know if there's like a uh, is can you play this offline? Like, can I play bots, or is this strictly
Uh,
online? Like, that's the one thing I would want to know.
all I saw was just online.
Okay, I mean, because I think you can. I was gonna say you can do that with Rocket League, but different games,
Yeah,
different
yeah,
developers.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, only because if I would be way more inclined to pick this up if it did have bots or something, or something where like if I don't feel like getting my ass kicked all the time, that I could just chill with some bots because that would be kind of cool.
So, from what it says on the Steam page, it's team based online gameplay designed from the ground up as an online multiplayer experience. Rematch offers split second gameplay response that always feels fair. So, it looks like it might be, maybe.
There's a practice mode and it says free play, but it's primarily online.
Yeah, I mean, and believe me, I totally fine, get that, and it's not like I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. But despite that, though, gameplay wise, mechanically, this
Yeah.
looks like it plays really well. I feel like you would have to know how it feels first, um, especially like soccer games. And like there was FIFA, and then I forget the name of the other soccer game that was developed by Konami. Fez, Fes. I think that was the other one. Those
I
two
think that's
games,
what it
like
was.
they
Yeah.
felt very different. Like they they were both soccer, but just like how how the players felt hands on controller, they just felt very different. So I'm hoping that this just feels good. If you know what I mean?
I typed in fast and I got a place out in Morocco. I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to remember the name though.
Oh, it was PES, Pez.
PES. Okay. Yeah, Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yes, thank you. Yes, yeah.
Which have they made a?
I don't think they
When's the
have.
last time they did one?
I think they stopped.
Oh yeah, the last one was like 5 years ago.
Yeah. Um, I don't know if that had anything to do with like when the FIFA games, because I guess they're not even really FIFA games anymore. This is how removed I am from the soccer video game sphere. But I don't even think that FIFA is called FIFA anymore. I think that they had a falling out, like EA had a falling out with the actual FIFA organization.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm not like I said. I'm not big into soccer either. I just this one just caught my
Oh
Yes.
eye
yeah,
Yeah, they
because
did.
yeah. It's
um.
called EA Sports FC 25. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah. So that's I wonder if that had anything to do with it, like that kind of split. I don't know. That probably didn't. Well, I mean, Pez being all of whatever. I'm talking way too much. This looks good.
Yeah. This looks fun. It looks fun. This is one of those games where I'll get it if the homies get it, and then like we could just go online and just like wreck shit. Like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, this does. It probably is very like
fuck playing Stardew Valley together. We're playing this together.
Oh my god. We're now into sports.
Yeah.
dude. Yeah. If this, I mean, hey, if this plays well, then hell yeah.
We gotta embarrass a group of 11-year-olds.
Oh my god. Um, so since we don't really have much to talk about, I think something that I do want to talk about, which funny enough, I just saw F1 2025. Um, and I have gotten into F1. Mwah, love it. Anyway, um, I think it's important to talk about cost right now. Um, there were just massive layoffs at, oh, I just saw a post about it. Where was it at?
everywhere.
Yeah, there have been massive layoffs everywhere. A Titanfall game was just canceled.
Mhm.
Um, the prices are going up on stuff, especially like consoles. I had an article about, here it is. Um, Sony's hiking up the prices of their PS5s. You have issues with the Nintendo Switch 2 coming out. Um, it's just it's a lot, and I feel like right now for gamers it's a little bit disheartening because it's like for a lot of people this is the way that we escape the bullshit world, but it's just like how are we supposed to do that when games are getting more and more and more expensive, the platforms to play them on are getting more expensive. And I feel like eventually gaming might, if things continue the way they are, gaming is going to be a luxury for those who can afford it.
All I'm gonna say, well, I have strong opinions about this topic, and one of the things I'm gonna say is people will always find a way to game. I'm on Steam right now. There's games, if you already have PC, there's games for $20. I was on the Nintendo store. There's games for $10. Yes, the big, Call of Duty and Mario Kart, those are gonna be expensive. But I feel as long as gamers can get creative and are willing to try lesser, not AAA titles, there is still a lot to go out there. And people are complaining about like the Switch 2. I thought the Switch 2 was going to be more expensive than what they announced. They said 450. I thought it was going to be a $500 console. Now, people are complaining that the Switch 2 is so much. Yeah, it's okay for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox to be that much. Like, fuck me, Freddy. Like, but at the same time, I'm watching these scalpers. So I've been looking at eBay, Switch 2 scalping prices. They're charging $800 for a Switch. It tells you how many have been sold. A lot of these pages, people are spending $800 on Switch 2s. People were bitching and crying that this stuff is so expensive now, and they're paying double the cost to get a scalped Switch 2. Like, it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, very fair.
Like it's just I think like I completely understand the cost of games rising. Like games are expensive to make, of course. Like you have to pay people to actually develop them. If you're not paying your workers, like you're not making a fucking game. Um and yeah, like I can definitely see where you're coming from. Like there will always be accessible points. For example, itch.io or however you pronounce it. Um when I don't know what to play, I go on there, I hit free, then I hit browser games, and I just sit there and play all the free browser games that I can play. Um, it's just, it's sad to see how, like, it's just sad to see that the cost of these are going up. One, because government's sucky, and
Yeah,
two,
yeah.
just because the cost of things is just fucking expensive. So, I don't know. It's just a bit
At the,
disheartening.
at the same time, you do not need a 250-person team to make a game. Like, that's another part of the cost is they try to make these massive games and they blow millions and millions of dollars. When you look at some smaller games with smaller teams are coming out, their games are just as good, but it's not costing them as much.
Expedition 33.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was just
exactly.
looking up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And like even that was priced at like what? I think $50 too.
Something like that, yeah. Let me check.
That's I guess what we would consider maybe even like a double A game, a double A or not a double A game, but like a double A team. It's really small, super tiny. Not quite indie though, because they at least had some kind of backing or something. I know that I keep reading like where they got their people from, and it was like they got they allegedly they got their sound producer off of SoundCloud or something. Like was the writer off of Reddit or something. They didn't blow all of this money on random shit. They put the money where it should have gone, and they made a good product.
They walked up to people and went, "Hey, you want to make a video game with us?"
That's
Basically.
that's kind of what it was. I mean, and I think they were ex Ubisoft people too. I mean, I honestly, it was probably they probably had that exact conversation of like, we can do this better, and it's like, okay, let's do it, and then they actually did it. Side tangent, but good for them.
Yeah, no, they're an example that we don't need massive teams spending hundreds of millions of dollars. Looking at you, Sony. To make good games. You know,
And like, well,
and
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm going to say, and game prices going up was predicted years ago. I remember during COVID, there were analysts who were saying game prices are going to go up to the prices they are at now. The whole $70 and possibly $80 things. People were predicting this. Nobody listened. So now everybody wants to bitch and complain, even though they were warned about this 4 to 5 years ago. I understand, because when the Switch 2 comes out and I finally get one, yeah, Mario Kart's going to be $80. That's a lot of money. Right now, especially with our economy, that's a lot of money. But at the same time, I knew this was coming. And Nintendo were just the first ones to hit that domino. Everybody else was waiting. You know Call of Duty, you know Activision was waiting for somebody to do it, so now they have an excuse to do it. But Nintendo was just the first ones to hit that domino.
You're right. You're right.
Um, I was gonna say, and like us sitting here going, you don't need 500 people to make a game. That is not us by any means saying lay off a whole bunch of people,
Yeah, I
because
mean,
like everybody's job is important. We're just trying to say like you if you want to make a video game, you don't have to be out here thinking that you need to spend millions of dollars. Concerned Ape did uh Stardew by himself. Fucking Scott Crawford did Five Nights at Freddy's by himself. Like there have been a lot of very popular games that have been made by extremely small teams, if not a
yeah,
singular person. Um, but
yeah. I mean,
but still, it's like you don't want to sit there and say that and then have these game companies go in and go, well, we want to make games for cheap, and that means we're not going to pay you. Like, I feel like the gaming industry needs to get a balance and needs to sort of read the room and realize that, like, what they're trying to do and their consumers, it's just not adding up.
and you don't have to fire everybody. But I mean, just make smaller teams and do smaller games with them. Then you have more product coming out, and you make your money that way.
Where you don't have to blow a ton of money on like on one singular voice actor or like a celebrity
Yeah,
to like back your game.
you have 300 people at Ubisoft. Split them up to like 100-person teams, and they could do three. They could all do 3 games instead of having all 3 of them do 1 game. And then that's good for gamers because now these companies we like are doing more games for us to buy.
And not only that, I feel like that gives your team more of a chance to explore the games that they want to create, because when you have 500 people making one game, like maybe all those 500 people just like, yeah, of course they're making this game, but it's not what they would really like to make. When you can split it up into smaller teams and have them actually work on something that they're more invested in.
hmm
I'm gonna be that guy. And I want to say this $80 shit is garbage. Fuck this shit, man. I
Yeah,
saw
I get where you're coming from, bro. I get where you're coming from.
like I had a conversation. We had dinner a couple weeks ago with a couple buddies of mine, and it was right after Nintendo pulled the whole $80-$90 shit. And one of my friends was defending it really hard. He was like, "Yeah, of course. Like games cost more to make, and like like Mike said, it was coming. We have to, and it was like, dude, me and my friend and I were like, you're not wrong, but like, it sucks that it has to be this way. Like, we just hit $70. Can we at least sit with that for a little bit before we hike it up to 80? And Mike's right too. The first person that does it, everyone else is going to do it too. And which is why I think it's such a slippery slope. Like, it sucks. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not. $70 was hard enough to swallow. I understand it was going to happen, and I get that games are expensive to make. I don't really give a shit. I'm gonna pay $60 for my game. Like, I'm sorry. This is just where I'm like, I look at the dev team, like Mike, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't really give a shit. You guys can price it at whatever. Make better games, assholes. That's really just make better games and price them normally. You'll do fine. It's not that big. It's not rocket science. We've seen it happen.
And then there's those rumors that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be $100.
Yeah, like that. Come on, man. Like, when is you open the floodgate? When's it gonna stop, dude? Like, that's what I'm afraid of. That's genuinely what I'm afraid of. In a year, is it gonna be $100? 110? When does it stop?
And that's what I was trying to get at by saying like gaming is going to be for the rich. You're going to have these, more so my comment was aimed at triple A titles, not indie titles. You're going to have these triple, like, to play Sony games, you're going to have to spend hundreds of dollars. I think the only person who's sort of out of that is Microsoft with their whole like Game Pass thing, just paying a monthly subscription. But again, that's a monthly subscription. Like, when are we going to get out of this like extremely high priced for digital content, but also like it seems like that's the only way you can go is if you pay an extremely high price or you subscribe to something. And there's just like no in between. Like, like, take ebooks for example. Like, they're still expensive. Like, a hardback of a book that I wanted, that hardback was $30. Ebook, 15. Okay, perfectly fine. Except I don't own it. I own the licensing to it. So I could potentially lose it if Amazon decides to take it away.
Which is really fucked up because I was seeing nowadays when you buy the physical game, I'm doing air quotes here, physical, the disc doesn't even have the game on it. It's a code to unlock the game digitally. Because if I'm gonna be paying, $70, $80, and it's not on PC, like if I buy a Switch game, I want that shit physical, And yeah, the digital thing is scary because like I pay, $80. Let's say I like Call of Duty and I pay $80 for Call of Duty this year, and then Activision decides, oh, you know what? It's in the contract. We could take this game away from you. I'm like, I'm $80 out because these assholes decided to take my game away from me. I never actually owned it. Which, if I'm paying $80, I should own that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. We definitely don't own anything anymore, which is terrifying. Even Steam, it's like you own it, but you kind of don't.
Yeah.
Which is why I think, like, especially like platforms like GOG are kind of nice, where they don't really rely on DRM to activate or anything. You just get the .exe. That's fine. But yeah, two things. I think that either for consoles, specifically for consoles, Game Pass are going to be way more of a thing. Like, as a consumer right now, I'm thinking I'd rather pay $20 a month to play X amount of games than pay $80 to own the license to play one game. You know what I mean? It just seems more friendly to the consumer, and so hopefully, maybe Game Pass people will just go to that more, Or if you're on PC, pirating. I'm thinking pirating's back, baby. I think.
Pirating's gonna get relevant again.
100%. Piracy always peeks its dumb little head up whenever convenience is thrown out the window, right? Like Spotify. When Spotify came out, it pretty much killed the entire music pirating just community because they were like, well, we just pay $15, we have everything. That's fine. Convenience is what is really what piracy. Um, the lack of convenience is where piracy comes up,
Mhm.
and I think that this will again on PC. Why you have even less if you're someone that does that, you have even less incentive now if something's $80. You have even more incentive to be like, I'm gonna pirate this and try it before I shell out $90 for the base game. You know, I really truthfully think that that will be the case. But then again, then companies will put up like higher levels of de novo and then try to fuck those people over too. So it also the piracy scene right now is not great. It's on it's like dying right now. It's kind of sad. All the scene groups have kind of like left, but I'm thinking maybe when the games hike up, maybe people will be more motivated to get back onto the scene. Um, or
I expect when Grand Theft Auto 6 drops and it's a very expensive game, we're gonna see a lot of pirating next year.
yeah, like it's especially for how easy it is too nowadays.
Yeah.
It's as easy as it's ever been, and it's like that's what higher prices lead to your customers just getting it anyway. Like whether it's through key resellers or straight up pirating, like again specifically on PC, but people will do whatever they can to play this goddamn game, and they will. Like they will.
I think that's honestly like I fuck it. Like let me preface this by saying I don't want to hurt the people who make video games because I understand that they are the ones creating it. They are not the ones setting the prices. But when do we tell these companies enough is enough? You need to reevaluate your shit and realize that you can still make a profit and pay your workers a fair wage and not charge your consumer a bajillion goddamn dollars.
And the way we do that is a way that people seem to refuse to do it, which is don't buy the games.
Yep.
I hear bitching and crying all the time. Oh, this game, is too expensive. This game, the microtransactions are unfair. This game, it's not, different enough from the game before it. And people cry about it. And instead of being like, okay, I'm going to use my wallet as a weapon to teach these developers that enough is enough, they complain about it. And then they go and they buy the game anyway. Like, you're just showing that even though you don't like what's happening, you're supporting it anyway because you're buying the game.
Yep. Exactly. The boycotts never work.
Yeah, because people say they want to boycott, and then when it comes for action, they don't want to step up.
Yeah, they don't do it. The other thing, it's a minor point, but especially like the people online, I feel like when people talk about something like Assassin's Creed Shadows, like this last one, a lot of people, at least on Reddit, speculated like or YouTube or whatever, various corners of the internet, people speculated that this game's gonna ruin Ubisoft, whatever. And then it ended up selling very well and like reviewing very
Yeah,
all to say that there's just a very vocal minority with stuff. A lot of the people that do complain aren't the millions of people that are just brain dead. Like people are just gonna do it anyway. Like, and that's the dumb part is that like people don't even. It's like I don't even think that people think about it. Like my one friend, he saw $80. He's like, yeah, that's fine. It's like, why? Why are you not mad about? Because most people don't care. At least the most people with money don't care.
yeah.
That's again to Haley's original point. If gaming gets to be an expensive hobby, eventually hopefully people are going to be like, actually, I don't want to buy this game because it's too expensive and it didn't review well, so I'm not going to bother. Hopefully that's where we'll get. Will we though? Probably not. We're all monkeys. I don't know why we even bother half the time. Just where's the giant meteor, man?
Yeah, like I feel like talking with your wallet really does something, and I feel like we just aren't like nobody takes it seriously or as serious as they should. Um because like when I sit here and talk about Ubisoft and you know pre-ordering Assassin's Creed Shadows, like I know what I'm getting myself into. I know what I'm doing. I'm taking that risk. And I'm not going to sit here and like be like, "Oh shit." Like, well, fuck Ubisoft because they made a half-ass game. Well, no, fuck me for not waiting and looking at reviews and just going off the limb and buying it if I were to bitch about it. But, like, I'm not going to sit here and bitch about it because I know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah, yeah. It's just that I can respect. It's just the people who bitch and go buy it anyway that like really upset me.
People are dumb. That's just the big takeaway here.
Yeah.
100%. But anyway, is there anything else that you guys would like to talk about?
You sound like my therapist.
Just about to say. That's what my psychiatrist asks me every time.
Shout
Yeah,
out to
right.
all the therapists out there, including ours.
No, like
Anna.
I straight up heard that exact line like maybe 2 hours ago, almost to the minute. That's crazy. Wow.
Anna, if you're watching this, please don't watch this.
Wow, holy shit. No, I'm good for the session. Thank you.
Yeah, I was able to get it all out.
Yeah, really.
I'm glad, guys.
I'll be good for 2 Mondays from now.
Okay, great. Um, that is going to be it for this episode of the pre-review crew. So come back here next month in June. We'll talk about how the games that we previewed for May reviewed. Like I said, because we did film this early, and then we'll also review the games for June and preview some new games for July. We're hitting that middle of the year. And unfortunately, there's no more, fuck, PAX?
E3.
Yeah, E3. Um, so we are coming up on individualized, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, showcase season. So we'll also be talking about all those as they come out as well. But I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
I love you.